Hi, it's Sandra, and I'm hoping to show you a technique or maybe something that you haven't worked with before, and that is these water decals. On my nail, I actually reverse stamped 3 of them, and on the other 2, I put some water decals that I had received from What's Up. If you've never worked with water decals, know that it's like everything else with stamping. It takes practice. The first time I did this, I used What's Up product. Did not realize that there was a thin sheet of plastic on the front of the page and that it should come off before you soak it in the water. When I was taking it out, of course, it was really thick and I couldn't figure out why in the heck I couldn't understand how to use it. As time went on, I finally figured out that they have, at least What's Up does, have a thin piece of plastic that's on the top when you first take this out of the package. And it's not noticeable. It's hard to get off too. This comes in a square, and I actually bought 2 of them because I figured they're inexpensive and I did not want to mess it up because I'd never done it before. So I figured, well, I better buy 2 of these. So I bought 2 of these Poppies. So this is how it originally comes. You take it out of the package. Like I said, there's a thin piece of plastic on top that comes off the whole sheet. And what you're going to want to do is cut out the pieces that you want to use. The bad thing about some of these, and this is something I didn't realize when I bought this, is these particular ones have a white background. So unless you cut this exactly to the size of this image, you're going to have white on your nail. Therefore, you're limited, unless you cut it exactly the size of the image, to what color you can use as far as your base coat. I used white since it was white. And if you can see this, and it's probably hard to see, right here I've got a little wrinkle in it, which shows that it's not stamped on, it's actually a sticker. Wrinkles are hard to get out, in my opinion. I think it takes practice to do it. What I tried to do this time was, as I put it in the water, I try to slip the image off and immediately put it on my nail. It didn't work on my second one, but it worked on, this was my first nail I did. The second one was my ring finger. So you definitely have to play around with it. This is a particular image that I picked, as you can see, is PO78 in their Poppies. So I messed around with this, and this is what I have left out of the sheet. And I have 2 more images like this, so that I can do my other 2 nails. The stuff that I stamped on my nails is from a Maniology plate, and it's called Paulina Spassions BMXL216, Paulina Spassions. And this is the design that I used. It's Poppies. And all I did was I stamped it in red, and I used Essie. And this is Tarte Deco. So that's the orange that you see, which is right here. And I used the Sally Hansen. And this is 238 Regal Rose. So those are the 2 colors that I used to reverse stamp the little Poppies. This is probably one of the first plates that I got from Maniology. And I think Maniology's plates are just golden. You can pick up the image very easily. They got fine lines, and this has a lot of other cool images. It's got some crocuses and some arrows, and this is like a marbling. And this little pattern right here I've used a couple times. I don't know if you can see it. Let's see the glare right here. And it's kind of like, I don't know, it reminds me of butterflies, but it's a really light pattern. So if you want something, your base coat to show through, this is a great one to use. And I've used probably all of these at one time or another. And the little triangles are really nice, because those 2, if you want something shown, the base coat shown, then this is a good one to use. This one I'd like to try and use. This is cool with the zigzag and the flowers, the roses down here. So I may use this one next. So and by the way, I did use the red that I have, and it's just old. It's the first red stamping polish I ever bought, and it's by Pueen. And Pueen's stamping polish is very good as well. In my opinion, it's just as good as Maniology. The only difference is Queen has very limited choices in color, and I think their polish is much thicker. So there's a difference in using that in the Maniology stamping polish. So when I go from Maniology to Queen, it's kind of a different technique. I find that I have to put more polish on the Queen, using the Queen stamping polish, than I do with the Maniology. So, but it's still a great polish. I've had this for well over a year and it still does a great job. So I'm just going to clean it. And I'm going to use my rectangular stamper so that way it can get all of the image. Scrape it. And there's the little poppies. You can see them through here. And all I'm going to do is reverse stamp them. Get this out of the way, cleaned and out of the way. I've got my little Maniology quartz rock that I can put my colors on. This is the one by Sally Hansen. And use my dotting tool. I'm just going to go through Okay, I got enough of the light color. Now I'm going to put some of the SE orange on here. And again, the color is called, and I'm going to finish up the flowers with this. Now my nails have been drying for quite a while, so I'll probably put some either top coat or some of the Maniology sticky base coat on so that the stamp that I'm creating sticks to it. And I only need 3 of these because I'm doing the other 2 fingers with the water decal. What's Up has some really nice water decals. They have a lot of them too for Christmas, and I actually bought some for Christmas designs. And again, the thing that that kind of bothers me is the fact that there's background colors. And I can see in some of them where you need a background color, but it would be really nice if they were clear, because then you could use whatever color base coat you want on your nail. So when you're picking out these water decals, just make sure that you kind of take a look-see at what the background is. Because I don't know about you, but I know that things look good on white, especially when you're trying to get detailed things to show up, but I hate using white. I hate using white because I just think the color is, I don't know, it reminds me of like the 1960s. So I don't think it's a pretty color to be on nails, and it's just, to me, it's so loud, like you can really see the white. So anyway, that's just my opinion of white. And then white, trying to find a white polish that goes on really nice is difficult as well. I've tried a lot of whites, and right now I'm actually using the Myers brand white, which is Studio M. Do I have it out? Here it is, right here. This actually isn't a bad polish. I just bought this a few weeks ago, and I just now used it, and it's not too bad. It levels okay, not the greatest, but it seems like a good polish. Okay, so this is all done, and I'm gonna let this dry for a minute, and then I'll put it on my nail. First, I'm going to put on, I think I'll just put on a base coat here. I'm sorry, the smudge free top coat here on my nail, my thumb. And let that dry a little bit, and then I'll put the image on. Okay, so that's on there. This is drying. And what I would do next is just go on to, I have quite a few stampers, so I would probably go on to another one of these so that I could fill it in, reverse stamp it. So let me do that while my base coat is drying, and I'll show you how the stamped image goes on. So do another one here. This time I'm going to use my big round stamper. Okay, so there's another image that I can paint in for the next nail. And since I only have 3 that I need, I only have 1 more to go. And that one will go on the pinky. So let me get another stamper. Use this one. And when you reverse stamp, you just want to make sure that the image is really dry, because if you don't, it just smears. So if you're going to go through all the effort of reverse stamping, you want to make sure that the image is dry, completely dry, before you try and put it on your nail. Okay, so this one's kind of small, but it's okay because I'm going to just put it on my pinky, and that's more than enough image for my little finger, for my pinky. Okay, so those I have to paint. I'm all done stamping. All right. This looks pretty good. So you can see where it's like not matte finish, but you can see it looks dry. So I put some Maniology smudge free top coat on my thumbnail, and I'm going to put the image on there, and I'm going to stamp it on there. All right, and I'm going to pull it kind of towards the tip of my nail, so that way the stuff that's on the end of my nail won't drag over and ruin the image. So there you go. I'm going to finish the other 2 nails, and then I'll be back and I'll show you how I put on the water decal. All right, so I've got all my nails on my right hand that I'm going to stamp all done. I finished the stamping and just cleaned up, and I did put the smudge free base coat or top coat, Maniology's top coat, on the 3 nails. Now I'm all set to do my water decal. I wanted to show you the other decals that I bought last year. I bought this one with the candy, and as you can see, again, this has got a blue background. So if I'm going to use, if I don't use the whole thing, let's say I just use part of it, unless I cut really close to all those little things, the images, then I'm going to have to do a blue base coat. Then I have this one, another Christmas thing, and then this one. So those are the Poppies, and these 3 are the 4 that I bought from What's Up. So I've cut out my piece for that I'm going to put on my nail as close as I want to cut it. And I'm going to want, so you're going to want the little cutout by you. You're also, if you have one of these, this is Uber Chic, and this with the little like rubber ends, this is really nice for pushing down the sticker. And however, if you push it down too hard or try to slide it around, it can rip the sticker. So you just want to be very careful when you use this. But this is very useful. So I have this beside me too. I'm going to take just regular tap water, and I'm going to put this in the water. Also, I've just learned that if your nails are really, really dry, in other words, if they have the polish has been on them for a while and they're dry, you're going to want to get them to a little tacky so that the sticker adheres to it, or the water decal. I'm just going to put a little bit of the smudge-free top coat on there and let that dry while I mess around with this. Okay, so I'm going to stick this in here, and it says right on the back of this to wait 15 to 20 seconds. And you're going to find out that if you try to take this off too early, what's going to happen is it won't come off. It just won't slide off. And if you kind of force it off, it's going to rip. So put it in the water, let it sit for a little while, and when you think it's done, just take it out and test it, see if you can slide it. And I found out on this hand that sliding it from the backing to your nail is the best way to get it on without getting a whole lot of wrinkles. So this is the backing that's on this decal. And you'll see it when I pull this one off. All right, so let's see if this is ready, if it slides. Yep, it slides right off. So I want to kind of dry it a little. You don't want to rip the sticker off. You just kind of want to pat it dry a little bit. And then I'm going to pull this up. And what my plan is, and so far my plan has not been working very well, is to take this and push the top part off the backing and stick it on my nail. Without doing exactly what I just did, which was wrinkle it. Let me take this off this way. Let's put this on. Just took it completely off the backing. I'm going to set it on my nail. And I want this kind of high because what I'm trying to do is leave some of the white. Now, I've got it on there just loosely sitting. Let's see if we can move it a little bit, because I'd like it a little higher. Looks like that's it. So I'm going to try and pull this wrinkle out of here. All right. And that's where it's going to go. So I'm going to kind of just use my fingertips and press it down. And you want to be very careful because, like I said, it will rip. And then I'm going to take this little tool and I'm going to just kind of press out I have a crease right here. I'm going to see if I can get it out. I have not had, you can get some of them out, but you can't get them all out most of the time. So you can see right here I have a little crease. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around my entire nail with this, so that it adheres to the nail around the edge. Now, removing the excess sticker is not a problem. You just use your acetone and brush, cleanup brush, and it comes off very easy. The only thing is you want to make sure that you do not pull on it too hard because it could rip the sticker that's on your nail. So I'm just I want to try and get this crinkle out. I got it out pretty good. So, and like I said, you don't want to take this tool and scrub it across there. It will rip the sticker and it'll actually take some of the paint off the sticker. Okay. I'm going to get some acetone because I'm out of acetone in my little cleanup bowl here. I'll show you how easy it is to clean this up. So here's the backing off this one, if you can see it. Let's put that aside and let's take this and get this off. And I'm just going to do it really lightly because I don't want it to pull off the sticker that's on my nail. So I'm just going to take this off. You can see how easy it comes off. It's not hard to take off at all. My ring finger, I actually did that. I started it on while the camera was going. And what happened was my nails were dry because I had painted my nails a while ago. And I ended up having to chase the decal all around my nail and could not get it to stick. You definitely have to have, just like in stamping, you have to have some kind of either top coat or the sticky base coat or something on there so that the decal sticks. Okay, so I've taken off all of the excess and I'm going to give this one more chance of getting out this little kink here. I think I got one right in here. I want to make sure that the edge of this adheres good. And my last step is I'm going to use the Maniology smudge free top coat, and I'm going to put that over this just like I would any stamping design. And I might end up putting some sparkles over it too. My advice to you is, if you've never done this before and you do decide to order some of these decals, I would order at least 2 of whatever pattern you want, so that way you have enough if you mess it up. It takes a while to learn how to do this. I've only done it a couple times and I'm happy with the result. I think that they're cute decals. I think it adds to your nails just something different, but it definitely takes practice. So I hope you like my video and give me a thumbs up and subscribe. And as always, if you would like a 10% discount on your purchase from Maniology, use my code underneath, which is NS10. And thanks for watching.
Slide it off. And when I did the first one, what I did was I'm doing exactly here. I slid it kind of forward, and then I attached it to the nail where I thought I wanted it to go. So I think maybe right here. Problem is if you take it off the cardboard, that's when you start to get wrinkles and everything. So what I'm going to try and do is just try and attach it to my nail. Not having very good success here. It's attached to my finger, not to my nail. So I don't think that I can pull this off itself without ruining it. Oh, I was able to. So just try and put this back on. Did not have this kind of problem with the other two, so.
Oh my gosh.